Hey guys! Desh here. Today's highlight showcases the newest Cyberpunk 2077 trailer. First impressions, live reactions, and a great discussion featuring Lucky and of course you guys during our live stream. Yes, the new Cyberpunk 2077 trailer is out, guys! We're gonna watch it together. I'm really excited. They do some interviews and stuff with people working on the game, which I always find fascinating. All right, here we go. Cyberpunk 2077. Let me know if it sounds okay or if I need to turn up or anything.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Stepping up here with the snakes. City of dreams, city of...
So I love this. I just love the aesthetic so much.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Night City Wire. This is the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes,
In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into
looks.
Life Paths and showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team. Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refuse to bringing the band Samurai to
Zombie
life.
agreed that you would beat
And then
Cena
we're
if you ever
showing
went and say
another new gameplay video.
I heard somebody say that yesterday.
Gameplay
It's rated M. You're too young to watch this. Shield our eyes, Fables. We are not ready.
So let's get started. Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo? Which will
You guys know what you're gonna pick? Actually, this is gonna kind of walk through each one. I'm so digging the music too. Street Kid 100%. Choose your character's backstory. I love it. Can't wait for this game. I need to get some money before this game comes out. Me too. I gotta save up.
Grew up in Haywood. Whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it.
It looks so good. Like they spent so much time on the details.
You have not forgotten your roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories. Robbing buildings. Running away from badges. Iron tasted blood from a split lip.
You'll be the dragon.
Oh, motherfucker.
It's not farm fresh, guys.
For a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
Not farm
Keep
fresh
getting
at all.
jumped. You find some stronger choopers.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend?
Thank you, Dragon.
Overnight?
Disclaimer.
Have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
Ooh, okay, so that was Street Kid. Now we're doing Nomad.
Childhood.
I love this preview.
Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills. Oh, and first kiss in the middle of a synth cornfield.
Oh,
We
it's
nomads
so
choose
visually
who to make
beautiful.
our family.
Look at the dino on the car.
Choice forges strong
Hello,
bonds of
Unicorn
higher
Roll. Not
degrees
far fresh
and
for
solid
sure.
as an old oak.
How are you, Unicorn Roll? This cool Cyberpunk 2077 you're
family's
going
in
to with
pieces.
Kingdoms
That's why I'm
of
headed for
Marie
Night City.
Reckoning.
Makes you an outcast.
Is that coming out at the same time,
outcasts.
Fables?
Miss this, you know? Camaraderie.
I know.
She probably Nomad
saw
because
it
you had your
in
first
your
kiss in a
heart
cornfield
the
so
first
farm.
time.
Oh my gosh, so cute. I heard him say that in the preview too.
You know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in Night City. Corp's got their grubby claws and everything.
Hello, Ace. Oh, yay, Ace is here early. Yay, Ace. Corpo.
I have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No, I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V. But no way you're fucked, right?
So
You're the
epic.
one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel,
Re-reckoning? Is that like part 2?
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow,
It really looks
they'll get
unique.
somebody
It's like a
else to
mix
zero
of like
you.
Blade Runner and
the rules,
Westworld
Jack.
and like
Wanna be top?
Matrix.
gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah,
Remaster?
you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is.
You only
You're
played
the
till 7 a.m., so you woke up earlier than usual.
Work for
Yay, Ace.
yourself.
I'm glad you're here.
Live for yourself. That's the only way.
Ooh, got some bubbly. Lucky.
Yeah.
So, who do you think you're gonna What is gonna be like what are you gonna go with? Are you gonna go with Nomad or Street Kid or Corporal? I guess if there's no dragon, I'll go with Nomad. How cute, dragon! I'm glad you're gonna be playing. That flying car thing looks crazy. I heard there was not flying cars in it, but
I don't know, Dish. I'm looking. So I thought at first, I was initially thinking like, ooh, Corpo. Just when I looked at the 3 images at the beginning, Corpo seems like it would be cool because you'll be like, it seems like maybe the one that would have access to like all the tech or whatever.
Yeah, the high-end classy stuff.
Or you live in the high rise, you live the good life maybe. But then the street kid definitely much more relatable, right? I think.
Yeah, and does the street kid remind you of like Blade Runner, like when he's in the city? Like I totally get Blade Runner vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. The Corporal one looks so dark and dreary. I don't know, and stressful. Like they're all talking about like boardroom meeting stuff.
Yeah, maybe like too corporate, a little too corporate.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought maybe initially, it was like Corpo looks cool. That's like high tech, high rise life.
I agree.
It seems like it could be exciting in a game. But then I don't know. It seems kind of dark and dreary. Maybe go with the street kid.
What about as far as
the Nomad? That looks interesting as well. Living out, kind of in the. It's just like a slower paced world and a little more wide open. You can do fun stuff with your vehicle. Maybe, who knows?
Don't you think this is good for replayability though? Like you could play through the entire thing as one and then like change it up, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. There's basically like 3 different storylines you could potentially experience here.
And
that's a good point.
Do you or does your chat know, like as far as like character creation, like do you think like certain, like this game doesn't seem to have like classes or races, or maybe they do, but do you know if certain things are going to be tied to like only Nomad or only Corpo, or are you going to have freedom, like make your character first and then you kind of pick their backstory? You know what I mean? You guys know?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure like how you must pick your backstory like before you start, because
I wonder if that like impacts how your character looks.
I think they're gonna. I saw like I've watched like 1 minute farther than we've got so far, but when I was making sure it was interesting stuff, and he kind of starts to talk about how this is going to affect dialogue options in the game.
Ooh.
So
hello, Snow Bandits.
So if you came from like the street kid background, and you're talking to people about stuff that like a street kid would be aware of that maybe someone in the corporate world would have no idea, or similarly the Nomad, living that rural lifestyle, he might have knowledge that the other 2 don't.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so
2077 will have that kind of tech. Maybe
for
I'll stick around.
That you can get other characters to like you more or influence how they look at your character. Pretty
I've been great, Snow Bandit. How have you been? Cool. We're watching the new Cyberpunk 2077 trailer.
Philip, it is so good to see you again. It's actually been a while since I've had a chance to interview you about Cyberpunk. So I think for today, we'll start with a question that everybody
You've been busy? Anything you want to share? Anything good going on? Really hyped for 2077? Me too, Devilistic.
Throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the street kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the city, which can of course give you lots of good opportunities
street
also
cred,
later on in the game. But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around
It seems
Night
more
City,
like family
that we call
oriented.
the Badlands, actually value their family above anything.
And then like Night City, like Street Kid is more like friends become your family kind of thing.
The game for you will actually be how to get
Corpo is like all
City
business,
and how
maybe.
to make a new life there.
Yeah,
Then
wait
you
57
can
years to
also
play this
choose
game.
to
Let's hope we don't have to
actually
wait that
be
long.
and choose the corporate life path. And that basically means that you're not at home in the streets of Night City or in the deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside the boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation. which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, you know, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business, which of course can give you many nice opportunities.
I'm so torn by what I want to do.
So this isn't just about the start of the game. Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah, so the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play
on a slithered cross-stitch shield.
To the
Amazing,
end.
Snow Bandit. That sounds awesome. And decorating your vampire house.
But we
How
wanted to
fun!
make it
How
so
are you decorating it? What are you going with?
Opportunities throughout the whole game until the game is over. And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options and dialogues. So I can give you one specific example.
Yeah.
And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport. And the owner of the corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines, and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang.
Theme of the house is dark. I love it, Snow
nomad,
Bandit. Are you gonna have a torture chamber?
Some more details about how these
I know, Ace.
the
Maelstromers. Yes, that's like
what
are the Maelstromers in this game, guys? It's like a clan or something?
As a street kid, we as an example don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
So Philip,
you have advantages or disadvantages for a bunch of different situations depending on your life background.
The first is about nomads. So the nomad life path, this starts in a place called the Badlands. Is this somewhere you get to visit?
It's called the Badlands.
Don't pick nomad to start
with?
Or
so will be my third torture death.
So the thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands. And you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon. And
I love that. You can see it in the background.
Later in the game, if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. Thing is,
it's like open world, right? Like you can literally drive anywhere. Like you could drive in a Night City from the Nomad area.
Time has not been very kind to the Badlands. There have been many wars in the past. There's global warming. So most people that do live out there don't really have another choice
this world in reality,
or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle-hardened. We, of course, also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many, many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
So Philip, can you tell us a little bit more about the character, Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V in the video. Who is this man?
Yeah, so Padre is actually one of the fixers in Night City. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries.
This
looks
amazing.
Someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people like you, the cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial. So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers who is called Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part of the city. So specifically Padre, you might know him as a street kid, but even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place.
I like how certain characters, like no matter where you choose as your life path, like you're going to run into them. You just might have a different experience or different background, like for how you know them or know of them.
Pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad, but for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it and send us a tweet. Don't forget that later in this episode, we're going to be showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction.
Some of the weapons look pretty cool. I wonder if there's gonna be like weapons. Is Keanu singing?
Because music plays a huge part in bringing Night City to life.
It would be awesome if they did this game in VR too. I agree, Ace. I mean, I think VR in general is really expensive for the average person. Like, I think when me and Lucky looked into it, it looked like it was like a couple thousand, which I don't know. I don't know if we could ever afford that for a long time. But for the people that have that option, I think that would be super sick. Must be why they are delaying it for so long. You figure out to bring VR to it? Hello, Alicios. How are you?
So it's kind of interesting to get into like the mindset of who is this character and what would they write about, or what's their agenda.
Yeah. They can take as long as they want on this game.
It's interesting to
I'd
try
rather
to, like,
wait for
catch a
quality and
language
have them take their time
try to
than
catch
rush
a
it.
language that's like a part of this game.
Which it seems like they're doing. I mean, they're, you know, it's a good brand. It's a good company. I think they know what they're doing. If they needed a little extra time, it's probably for a reason. I'm doing good, Alicios. How are you? Becoming samurai.
There's a reason why we're here.
They said they're not doing VR for it because the technology isn't where they want it to be. Interesting. You agree, Snow Bandit? Same. They know what they're doing for sure.
Was a fan of the band.
He knew Refused.
Now this is really cool. This is an actual band, I think from, did they say Sweden? And they're featured in the game really heavily. Like, that's really cool. I love that.
And that they wanted, I guess, a sound that was a bit contemporary from when Johnny's supposed to have had the band, because he's sort of like an anti-establishment kind of guy.
And I think they wrote songs for the game.
So of course there are things that you can relate to, and like just like this outcast and this rebel that's fighting against like the corporals, and that's definitely something that's been a part of my life and a part of Refused's life.
We came out of the punk rock scene of northern Sweden.
He's like the future version of us. You know? So I think it makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here making these songs about him or for him. You know? So
how cool they are. They're like writing music for the game specifically and the character. Yeah. That's really awesome.
No trills, but yeah,
what a cool idea for the game to like go that in depth and like hire a band to make music for it. You know what I mean? That's really cool.
And then, I mean, just sort of feel,
They're working on melee combat more supposedly. Okay, guys, seriously, does anybody know about character creation, how much freedom we have? Is there certain characters you pick from, like in Borderlands with Vault Hunters? Or do you really, like, create your own character, like color, hair, style hair, face? Like, do you guys know how much freedom we're going to have there?
That's essentially what we're doing. I mean, we're not here as Refused, we're here
And can
as
you
Samurai.
play as, like, Keanu's character, or is he, like, an NPC in the game?
So it's like the voice we're representing here is someone else.
I really dislike when games are pushed out early and they have issues. I think everybody doesn't. Yeah, I think everybody is like, in general, I think most people would rather wait and have it not have as many bugs. Definitely. Yeah, it is in Sweden. This is like their studio. How cool. It seems really authentic. Like, I think it's really cool they decided to go this route. They really wanted that like gritty rock and roll sound. Because you can create your own characters, I believe. Count as an NPC as far as you know. Okay, and then you create your own characters. I like that.
I mean, the shouting in itself is just like second nature to me, because I've been doing this for a very long time. But then when someone comes in and says,
I'm happy with everything except for Azalin. Again, it's Azza. Azza. Okay.
The shouting's great, but think of that accent, or think of that like enunciation. It's a bit weird because it's a very different way of singing when you're screaming like that.
Oh, he's gotta like pronunciate something. You need that music, Snow Bandit? I bet you they're, and if they don't, they should put out like a game soundtrack and then include like the actual tracks of this band, like the full tracks. What's up, Addy? This is the Cyberpunk 2077 newest trailer that just came out, I think, yesterday.
You have to maintain the illusion that.
And this is like them interviewing people that are, you know, having a lot to do with the game. Yeah.
So it makes sense, but yeah, it's a bit different to have someone.
They basically, we were just saying they hired an actual band from Sweden because they're to write songs like for the game, and so they're featuring this actual band. And it looks like Keanu is doing the vocals, like in the game, but this is the actual band that's doing it.
That word sounded weird.
Is there a version of this video that doesn't have the box in the corner with the person talking over the video? Rude.
Yeah.
So it's full character customization and then 3 life paths and 3 classes. Confirmed, Ace? Confirmed? 3 life paths and 3 classes. Ooh, so hold on, I have a question, Ace. So 3 life paths, we went through those. What are the 3 classes? And can you be any class with any life path?
It's a very interesting thing to be part of. As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have.
Oh my gosh, that always hurts a little bit. Like, I respect the band, I do. I think it's awesome that they are using a real band, but it always hurts when, like,
trying to get this right, trying to get it.
Like, does it hurt anybody else when, like, they choose an actor to play a role? Like, say if Tom Holland, like, never watched a Spider-Man movie or read a comic from Spider-Man, would that hurt, like, a little bit? Like, right? Like, whenever they cast somebody, or like a voice actor for a game who isn't a gamer, or like, doesn't that like hurt just a little bit?
Samurai tracks.
He's not a gamer. Maybe he'll be after this. Maybe this will make him want to
Never
play.
Fade Away, and the Ballad of Buck Ravers.
Solo, Netrunner, and Techie. Ooh.
Which is coming to
do you know what they entail, Ace? You seem to be in the know. Can you share with us a little bit about what the classes do and what they are?
To watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channel soon. Next up, Pavel and I are going to introduce you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
This is a pretty good trailer. Like, it's pretty in-depth. I appreciate this a lot. Hello, Necromancer. Tools of Destruction. They spelled destruction wrong, but it's okay. I love this so much. It looks so cool.
I have a job for you.
I really like how the way they show that somebody's talking to you.
He needs protection. It could get hot.
I don't know if it was in a band. I would think it's cool. Keanu was singing for you. Good press too. I think there's, yeah, I'm sure there are, Matt. There's a lot that aren't gamers. Ooh, tech weapons. Oh my gosh, the song is not farm fresh. I just even love the menu system. Like, everything about the way they designed this seems super, like, original. It seems super, like, advanced. It seems really, like, clean and modern. I just really like the aesthetics overall from what I've seen. So much. This looks so cool. They're showing us a ton of gameplay, actually. Ooh, yeah, the melee weapons. Ah! It's a little violent, but, they do look pretty awesome. Ooh! Ooh, the cyberware! Oh, this is so rad. Oh man, that almost creeps me out a little bit. Almost creeps me out a little bit. Your blades come out of your arms. Kind of like Wolverine, but it's so, like, it's like you bleed when it happens. Ugh. I don't know.
Sophie,
I don't know what I'm gonna go with.
are you willing?
Can any class and any life path choose any weapon? Is it like you come across any weapon out in the world and you can pick it up and use it? Or are you like tied, are certain classes tied to certain weapons
now, there was
only?
An awful lot in that video, right? Because it's more than just guns.
Those are like hitmen and detection abilities. Techies are the support class that can build traps and stuff. That sounds really cool.
Defensive cyberware,
Netrunners are the gadget people who can plug themselves into stuff. Well, that sounds super cool too. Hack into people's minds and place viruses.
And let's just talk about
I love the sound of the guns. That's weird, but they sound cool.
The different types of guns.
I've watched a couple like things
types of guns
like in the past where they show how they recreate certain sounds, and the sound department always does a really good job with both shows, movies, and games. Like, you know, especially if there's a company this big behind it.
Bullets off of surfaces.
They really put a lot of time into that.
Behind cover or hiding behind a wall. Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there. Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or
that's
you
so
can hit
cool.
somebody who's hiding behind cover.
It's crazy the things they use too.
So Pavel, Cyberpunk doesn't just contain FPS elements, right? It's also a fully fledged RPG. So can you tell us how you guys approached introducing those RPG elements?
You gotta guess everyone can use anything? I would hope
so I can
that's
tell you
the
one
case.
thing, Holly. It wasn't easy to merge those two elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FTP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses. So they will see that reload times become shorter, the accuracy of your weapons grows, you will have faster aiming time, you
That's
will
cool.
move faster
It like gets
with
better
your
as you
weapons.
go. That's really cool.
Everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
It's an alt fire mode for some
So I have prepared a few
guns.
extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well the first is going to be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like,
Yes.
where will players be looking for?
Yes, tell us.
So I expect the players to look everywhere for
all the
new and
loot.
exciting weapons.
Search
you can,
everything.
Of course, buy weapons at vendor shops, and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get.
I bet.
However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City.
I love that so much. Can I just say, remember how I always say, like, okay, whenever you loot something, you should be able to take the actual weapon that they were using. That sounds like in this you actually can. You see something with a cool weapon, go kill them and take it.
In such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find
an
on
alt
no
fire
other
mode
weapons
for some
in the
guns.
game. The players will actually need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character.
So next question.
No,
let's
they're gonna
talk
like be like
about
they're gonna make you
weapon
like really like a character, and then you have to
What mods
decide
can
if
people
it's
give
worth
to their
killing them or not.
weapons in Night City?
So we have two types of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments.
Royal.
So these would be scopes and silencers, and you can see them actually being attached to your weapon as you're
You love
playing
sound
the
design
game.
for the
They
games
give
of
you
movies. If I can't sit behind a computer 12 hours a day to work on
and they
it,
give you more opportunities
you know,
in
it makes
gameplay.
you respect them,
The
doesn't
other
it?
part of mods would be software mods. Now these are basically small chips that you install in the
Looting
your
everything
weapon,
well, yes.
and they actually change the statistics of the gun.
Everyone's
they
a strong
can
weapon.
give you damage, they can give you accuracy, or they
Rocket
can
launcher
give
they're
you more
using
fire
has the
rate.
tracking feature?
Some of those mods actually
Well, I think
change
Cheryl
the
was telling me
gunplay
about
on a
that.
more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds,
How cool,
biochemical
Zombie!
rounds, to tear through that armor even faster.
How cool, Zombie! That's
final
epic!
question,
That's
why don't you tell us
amazing!
about your favorite weapon then? Which is your favorite weapon so far in Night City?
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one, but I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons that I absolutely adore. The first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls. So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover, or who doesn't even know you're there. Of course, I also like a close quarters approach. And what that needs is
I
a
love
shotgun.
these looks of these
One of the
guns.
shotguns
These
that
look
we
like
have in the
street kid
game is
guns.
Budget Arms Carnage. Now that thing is cast from pure steel, and
You
it
studied
weighs
these
a
three
ton.
games and you just don't
However,
have the
you can
patience.
cut a person clean in half with it.
Yes!
Another shotgun that I absolutely love, it's for a more refined approach, I would say, is a smart shotgun, Kangtao Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels, and that means it
gosh,
can
that
track
thing looks
8
huge.
targets independently. Now, killing an entire
8
room
targets
was
independent?
never simpler.
Pavel, thank you so
Oh my
much
gosh.
for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they play Cyberpunk for themselves.
It takes hours to record, line up and sound for a 5-minute clip. I can believe that.
Those who wish to
I can believe that. When I'm lining up my audio with my clips in my YouTube videos, and I'm editing me like a vocal, like a track I recorded separately to narrate, and trying to line everything up with sound effects, and it takes forever, which is why. It takes me like at least a week to get out one YouTube a week.
Thank you
sometimes
so much
longer
for
if they're more involved.
Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading
That's about right.
everything
That's
to our channels shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire.
That's already over.
3 soon.
Yes, episode 3. That is so. That was done really well, I think. That was awesome. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm even more hyped now, guys. Like, I was already really hyped, but I'm like extra hyped now. I don't know about you all. Oh my gosh. That was like literally awesome. Lucky.
Hey, Deshy, what's up?
You finish?
Not quite.
Okay.
Very
When's the game coming out? November 19th, I believe they said?
Actually, yeah, I am done. So what do you think, Desh? What do you have any thoughts, any ideas, anything you're excited for?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just way more hyped than I already was. And I love how there's like so many different types of weapons. And I was telling chat, like, I love how in the game when somebody talks, like in the corner, how it shows, and like when you're choosing like a weapon. Like, I love how like aesthetically like modern and just clean everything looks.
Yeah, it's got a really cool aesthetic that kind of like it's futuristic.
Yeah.
But grounded in like the dirty reality of the world, you know, like
definitely
things look futuristic, but they also look kind of dirty and grungy. Like it's pretty cool combination. It's neat. It's because it's only 2077, so it's supposed to be the future, but it's only 50 years in the future.
Yeah. And I think the whole world is actually really grounded in reality, which with also having those futuristic like aspects. Like they talked about in the Nomad, like they have to deal with global warming, and it looked like they were like lining up to go through like some kind of border system. And so you have those.
It's almost like the Borderlands. There's like a literal wall dividing the rural era,
the Badlands area.
Yeah, from.
It's like Mad Max kind of.
Area. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What happened? What's going on there? There's gonna be a lot of cool story and history in this world to kind of like uncover and find out. The only thing like it's watching it, like they're talking about all these guns, and guns are cool. I get bored of guns very fast though.
Well, they had some melee type weapons, and you have like the weapons that come out of your skin.
Sword, however, the samurai sword, I saw him slicing people with like this like.
You could slice someone in half.
Yeah, so I mean that I could be up for some of that.
What about the blades that come out of your arms? Like Wolverine, and it looked like you got bloody when you did it. Ew.
Yeah, that could be cool. Oh, and I'm being told there's even hammers. So there are lots of choices for melee weapons.
Ooh, hammer.
It'll be cool. He said you could improve like reload speed, fire rates, aiming speed. Like there's a lot of passives that there's a lot of passives that you can your character, it is an RPG, so your character does improve over time basically.
Yeah.
Elaborating on, which is really important to me in an RPG. I love the kind of like skill trees or passive trees, something I can do to like make my character unique from playthrough to playthrough.
And it sounded like your skills with your guns improve, like you have better accuracy.
Yeah, your character gets better at using guns. There's lots of little things you can.
Hello, Necromancer. Be interesting on people loadouts. Can I talk to you a bit about some of my chat was talking about the different classes. Do you know about that? There's like
classes?
Yeah, there's apparently 3 different classes. There's solos, techies, and then gadget people. Oh no, sorry, net runners.
I didn't know. I had no idea. So you get a backstory and you get a class?
Apparently, yeah, you could pick three different backstories for the life pass and then 3 different classes. And so solos are like hitmen with the detection abilities. Techies are a support class that can build traps, and netrunners are like gadget people who can plug themselves into stuff and hack into people's minds and place viruses.
What?
Isn't that cool? So cool. All right, let's see. Let me get caught up. Let's see. Waiting for professors, though. She does major movies and watching her work.
That's
She's so picked, but still takes her forever.
18 minutes, 31 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, he stopped with the samurai gun. That looked sick. So for you, 5 hours to set up a concert, 2 hours to perform, and 2 hours to put it away, and my day is done. Nice, Ace. I wasn't hyped for it now, but I might pick it up a year after release? Well, why wait so long? You don't want to play it when everybody's playing it? It's my aesthetic so much that it speaks to my soul. I want to play it so much. Oh man, I am so torn. I'm really torn between the different life paths. I think, like I was saying to Lucky though, I think it does give you that replayability, like to be able to, you know, play through it once as say Nomad, and then go back through as Corpo, and then go back as a street kid, and then maybe do a different class. I mean, it sounds like, and then you can always choose a different way about it. Like the first time you could go in and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna be like the good guy. I'm never gonna kill anybody for a weapon. I'm always gonna like respect everyone and try to, you know, just be good, I guess, the entire game. And then you could go in and play through it again and play like a villain, where like you literally just kill everyone, you take everybody's weapons, and you're really like power hungry. Maybe that's when you're doing Corpo and you're like climbing up like the ladder, the corporate ladder. I don't know. I love how there's so many different ways to go about it. It makes it like really customizable, which I didn't know if it was going to be at first. Like when it first was announced, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be kind of like Uncharted, where you play as like a character and we all play the same character. Like we all play as Keanu's character or something like that. Like I wasn't really sure how it was going to go about it. But the way they're going with it sounds super, super unique. And we're going to have a lot of freedom to do kind of like what we want and like choices we make. And I'm sure those choices are going to play into, you know, like choices we make are going to have like actual repercussions and actual, you know, advantages or disadvantages in the world, you know. So that's really cool. The third time, a good guy who's really the villain. Oh, where you're like being sneaky and you're like pretending to be a good guy, and then you're like actually the villain and you're like really sneaky. Oh my gosh. Shady. Yeah, that could be cool too. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, definitely. And that wraps up today's highlight, featuring Episode 2, the newest Cyberpunk 2077 trailer from Night City Wire. I'll link the full trailer down below, as well as Lucky's channel if you'd like to subscribe to him as well. It's free! Speaking of, please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'm Desh. I stream live on Twitch 6 days a week. Come hang out and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!